children, today I am here to teach you chapter 12 in your textbook, that's rectilinear plane figures. In this lesson, we are identifying the properties of rectilinear plane figures, triangle, rectangle, square, trapezium and a parallelogram. What are planes? The surface of the whiteboard. When you take the surface of the whiteboard, surface of a table, surface of the floor, surface of the wall, paper in your book, all are planes. What are line segments? There are two types of line segments, straight line segments and curved line segments. So when you take this line, this is a straight line segment, can draw using your ruler. What about curved line segment? You get curves. This is a curved line segment. So what are the line segments? You can get straight line segment or curved line segments. So what are planes? You can take any surface, wall, whiteboard, book, all are planes. Plane figures. Figures drawn on flat surfaces using straight line segments and curved line segments are defined as plane. So this is a plane with all straight line segments. This is a plane with all straight line segments. Here, this is a plane with curved line segments. This is straight line segments. So following are different plane figures. Some plane figures bounded only by straight segments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these 5 bounded by straight line segments. This one bounded by curved line segment. Some plane figures bounded only by curved line segments. Some plane figures bounded by both straight line segments and curved line segments. Something like this. 2 straight line segments and I can take one curved line segment like this. So both are there. So what are closed plane figures? Figures which are completely bounded by line segments or curved line segments are defined as closed plane figures. When you take a point, when you go round and come to the same point, those are closed figures. Take a point, go round and come to the same position, those are closed figures, closed plane figures. So all these are closed plane figures. So I can color those. When you get a closed plane figure, you can color inside. So these are closed plane figures. Now we'll look at what are open plane figures. Figures which are not completely bounded by line segments or curved line segments are called open figures. So when you take one point, it ends with another point. Here starting with this point, ends with another point. So those are open plane figures, not ending with the same point. So all these are open plane figures. Following open plane figures convert to closed plane figures using a ruler. So what you do? You take your ruler and draw a line connecting these 2 points, starting point and the end point. And you see this is a closed plane figure. So we can draw a line and put a color there. So this is a closed plane figure now. We'll take the ruler, connect these two and put a color. So that's a closed plane figure now. This is an open plane figure. Take the ruler and connect these 2 points and put a color. What about this one? This one, connect with the ruler and put a color there. So we'll take a different color now. So that's a closed plane figure now. Take the other one, take the ruler and connect. And you can make closed plane figures like that. Following closed plane figures have area inside and area outside. Label A as the area inside and label B as area outside. So we'll take this one already done for you. A inside, B outside. So when you color it, this is inside. Now how can we write this one? This is inside part. So we can write A inside, B outside. This one, that's inside. So A inside, B outside. We'll take another color here. This is inside. So I can label inside as A, outside B. What's the inside? That's A. Outside B. We'll take another color. That's A. Outside B. Inside A and outside B. Identify open and plane figures and closed plane figures from given figures. Closed plane figures. Closed. A is closed. B, it's open. C also, it's open. G, we'll take D first. D, that's closed. E, that's open. F, that's closed. G is closed. H, it's a closed one. I, it's an open one, not finishes at the same point. I, that's an open one. J is not there. KL, I, K. K is a closed one and L is also closed. So closed ones and open plane figures we can identify like that. Rectilinear plane figures. So what are rectilinear plane figures? Closed figures bounded by straight line segments only. No curved line segments. So all these bounded by straight lines. So these are rectilinear plane figures. What about this one? There's a curved line. As there is one curved line, this is not a rectilinear plane figure. So in this lesson we are talking about rectilinear plane figures. Select closed rectilinear plane figures out of the following figures. All are straight lines, so that's a rectilinear plane figure. B is also rectilinear plane figure, but C, that's a curved line segment is there. D again, it's a rectilinear plane figure. E also bounded by straight lines, but F is not. That's a curved one. So A, B, D, E are rectilinear plane figures. Elements of rectilinear plane figures. Sides. This is a triangle. So triangle formed by 3 line segments. So these are called sides. So how many sides are there? 1, 2, 3. 3 sides are there for a triangle. What's this? 4-sided figure. So bounded by 4 line segments, we call a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral, so has 4 sides. 4 sides. These are sides. So all these are sides. So you get 4 sides for the quadrilateral. Then you need to know what is an angle. Angle formed inside a rectilinear plane figure by 2 sides meeting is an angle. So 2 sides intersecting, we get an angle. This is another angle and this is another angle. There are 3 angles in a triangle. So how many angles in a quadrilateral? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 angles in a quadrilateral. So 4 sides and 4 angles in a quadrilateral and 3 sides and 3 angles in a triangle. So triangle, this triangle is formed by 3 line segments. What are the line segments? AB, we can label AB, BC and AC. Those are the 3 sides. This triangle has 3 angles. What are the angles? A, B and C. This is a quadrilateral. Following figure is a quadrilateral with 4 sides. What are the sides? We can label AB, BC, CD and AD. So 4 sides AB, BC, CD and AD. Following quadrilateral has 4 angles. What are they? These are A, B, C, D. These are angles. So in a quadrilateral, 4 angles and 4 sides. So we'll talk about what are types of quadrilaterals. A square. Square is A, B, C, D. So when you are labeling and you have to go either clockwise or anti-clockwise. You can't say ACBD square, ABCD or ADCB square. So this is a square. All 4 sides are equal with 7 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can you see the square? When you color it, you can see 7, 7. Just to show you this, what is a square means. All sides are equal. Something like this, 7, 7. All 4 sides are equal with 7 squares. So what are the sides? We can label it AB, BC, CD and AD. You can write DA also. CB, you can change the letters, but the lengths are equal. All four angles are right angles and they are equal. So when you take the square A, B, C, D, all angles are equal to 90 degrees. So this is how you write 90 degrees. The gap between AB and CD are equal with 7 squares. So gap in between AB and CD, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 squares. And the gap between the other side also, the gap between BC and AD. BC and AD this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Always 7 are there. So gap is equal. So what are the properties in a square? All sides are equal. All angles are right angles, 90 degrees. And the gap between pairs of opposite sides is a constant. So gap between opposite sides. Now we'll look at what is a rectangle. PQRS. PQR is a rectangle. Length of PQ. This length is equal to this length. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 squares are there. So length of PQ is equal to SR. Length of PS. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's equal to QR. All angles are right angles. So we can write A equals B, A equals B, equals C equals D. All are 90 degrees. The gap between pairs of opposite sides, again a constant. So when you take any 2 points, the gap is the same. So I can show you that. Here, this gap is same as this gap. When you take any gap between opposite side, this length is same as this length. So what are the properties of a rectangle? Opposite sides are equal. All angles are right angles and the gap between pairs of opposite sides is equal. The other type of quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So look at KLMN parallelogram. So when you take opposite sides, they are equal. So KL is equal to MN. And Kn, this side, is equal to ML. Opposite sides are equal in a parallelogram. The gap between the pairs of opposite sides is a constant. So what's the gap means? Here to here. Take any 2 points, the gap here is equal. Here also, when you draw perpendicular lines, you get those are equal. The other type of quadrilateral, we say rhombus. So what are the properties of a rhombus? All sides are equal in length. So we can say AB is same as BC and CD and AD. All sides are equal like a square. The gap between pair of opposite sides is a constant again. So what's the gap means? Here to here. When you count any 2 points, with the gap here, it's the same. So those are the properties in a rhombus. Look at this one. This is a square and this is a rhombus. So what happens there? Lengths are equal. Here also lengths are equal. When you give a push to the square, so it becomes a rhombus. So ABCD is a square and when you push one side, ABCD, rhombus is obtained. So what's the difference between a square and a rhombus? Sides are the same, but angles. All four angles in the square changes in a rhombus. Angles are not 90 degrees anymore. That's the only difference. Trapezium, another type of quadrilateral. Look at the trapezium, KLMN trapezium. In this figure, all angles are not right angles. Angles are not equal. And the gap between KN and LM is not a KN. This way it's not a constant. But when you take MN and KL, the gap is the same. So this gap and this gap is the same. So what are the properties in a trapezium? The gap between one pair of sides is constant. So only one pair of sides, not both sides. So remember that properties of a trapezium is just the gap between one pair of sides is a constant value. Write down 5 types of quadrilaterals. Can you remember? Square. Then rectangle. Parallelogram. Then we talk about rhombus. And then trapezium. Those are the 5 types of quadrilaterals. What is this shape? We see squares, triangles, trapeziums. Label the square. Where is the square? Is the square? What's the square here? We can start from one end. BCEF is the square. BCEF. Label 2 triangles. ABF and what's the other triangle? CDE. Those are the 2 triangles. Label the 2 trapeziums. Can you see 2 trapezium? If you start from A, ACEF is one trapezium. If you start from D, DEFB. DEFB is the other trapezium. Look at this diagram. Label following figures in the diagram. Squares. Identify squares. This is one square, A. So here how can we label this one? I'll put ABCD, ABCD. So ABCD is another square. Trapezium. Can you identify trapezium? 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the 4 trapezium we can identify. So what are the letters? P, Q, R, S. Those are trapeziums. Answer the following questions using the diagram. Squares. Identify a square here. This one. A is a square. 2 by 2. So we can't give the big one. We can say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not a square. So what are the trapeziums? Here, G, I'll draw with lines. This is one trapezium. Here, another trapezium here. What else? Another one here. And here, F also a trapezium. So those are trapeziums. So I can write what are the trapeziums. E, so C also, C, E, F, G. B we can say here, B is a parallelogram. D also parallelogram. BD parallelograms. Then what are the other letters we see? K. So what's K? K is a rectangle, see? K is a rectangle. See this one? K. And L, can you see? L is also a rectangle. L. And M is also a rectangle, and N is also a rectangle. So I can write K, L, M, N. Those are rectangles. Answer the following questions using the diagram. Triangles. Identify triangles. Here you get A is a triangle. What else? C, E. A, C, E, and here G. So those are triangles. A, C, E, G. What are quadrilaterals? Bounded by 4 straight lines. You can give FB as well, but we need to identify trapeziums as well. So we'll keep those, and I can say this one. D is a quadrilateral, 4-sided figure. So D I'll write for quadrilateral, and B and F I can write as trapeziums. Here F, this trapezium, and this trapezium. F and B. I'll write in different color. F and B. Those are trapeziums. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We identify all. Look at this diagram. How many squares in this figure? Take a look at this one. We can see this is 1. And this is 2. And this is the third one. So 3 squares are there in this diagram. Three squares are there. How many right angle triangles in this figure? We'll count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, angle triangles. Right angle means one angle is 90 degrees. What is the quadrilateral when you combine the following two trapeziums? So we'll try to do that. We'll try to combine this, and these are two trapeziums. So I want to take this one and this one and try to combine and make a figure. What's this shape? This is a parallelogram. So what's the shape we get when you connect two trapeziums? You get a parallelogram. When you cut ABE triangle and attach AB side to DC, what is the figure you get? We need to do it and see. Cut it, and we'll take this one. So you have to combine this length with this length. So we'll see what happens when you connect. What you get? A rectangle. So parallelogram, when you cut it and paste it other way around, you get a rectangle. Look at these figures. Identify quadrilaterals, squares, rectangles, parallelograms and rhombus. A looks like all sides are equal. That's a square. B, opposite sides are equal. That's a rectangle. C, the gap between opposite sides is equal. That's a trapezium. Trapezium is a quadrilateral. D is a parallelogram. Parallelograms are there, so we can label as parallelograms. E, a square, all sides are equal. F, it's like a parallelogram. Sides are not the same. G, what do you think about length and width? It looks like all sides are equal. If all sides are equal, we can write that one as rhombus. H is a trapezium. We can write under quadrilaterals. I is a rectangle. 90-degree angles are there. J looks like a parallelogram. K, another parallelogram. L, sides are equal. Seems like all sides are equal. That's a, we can say, rhombus. That's L is a rhombus. M, four-sided figure. That's a quadrilateral. N, again, if all sides are equal, we can put to rhombus. And O is a rectangle. Now we look at exercises in your textbook. Exercise 12.1. Select the closed plane figures from the following figures and write down the corresponding letters. Closed one. So this is a closed plane figure. B is not closed, open one. C is not closed. D is a closed one. E is a closed one. F not. And you can take G is a closed one, not H. And I is a closed one. And J is a closed one. This is just identifying closed plane figures. Exercise 12.2. Select the rectilinear plane figures from the following figures and write down the corresponding letters. So rectilinear plane figure means bounded only by straight lines. So this is a rectilinear plane figure. B is not because this is a curved line. C again rectilinear plane figure. D also rectilinear. E rectilinear. But F you can't take, this is a curved line. G again rectilinear plane figure. Now we'll do exercise 12.3. From the plane figure names given below each figure, select the suitable name and mark correct sign or wrong sign appropriately within brackets. So this shape, what's that? A rectangle. So it's a rectangle, not a square, not a triangle. Second one, opposite sides are equal. That's also a rectangle, not a square, not a triangle. Third one, it's a parallelogram, not a rectangle or square because not 90 degrees each. So that's a parallelogram, not these. Other one, four-sided figure, not a triangle. Trapezium or a square. Square, all sides are equal and 90 degrees, so not a square. This is a trapezium. Look at this one. Not a square. This is a trapezium. The gap between one pair of parallel lines is equal. Not a rectangle, not 90-degree angles. This is not a square, no 90-degree angles and not a rectangle. But we can see this is a parallelogram. So what about this one? Trapezium. So this is a trapezium, not a parallelogram. Not both sides are, the gap between both sides are not equal there. Square angles are not 90 degrees. Here, all sides are equal. So it's a square and this is a quadrilateral, not a triangle. Draw two figures of each of the following types of rectilinear plane figures on your square ruled exercise book. Square. So square means all sides are equal. So we can draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 6. So this is a square. I want to color and show you that. 1, 2, 3. So this is a square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You need to color another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a square. Another square. We'll take 3 by 3. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 by 3. So here. So that's also another square. So 2 squares. 2 rectangles. So we'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 and 6. So this is a rectangle. So I'll color it. That's clear. When I color this, you can see the figure clearly. So that's a rectangle. We'll draw another rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 by 3. Something like this. And I'll color this one with red. So that's another rectangle. Parallelogram. So for parallelogram, we have to take same number of squares when you consider opposite sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you can connect here to here, here to here. So this is a parallelogram. Another parallelogram. We'll take 4 here and 1, 2, 3, 4 here. I'll draw it other way around. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Then I can connect this one and this one. So that's another parallelogram. Trapezium. Trapezium, I have to draw 2 lines with here unequal length. So I can draw something like this and connect. First draw 2 parallel lines and connect the 2 ends. That's a trapezium. And another one here. 2 parallel lines here, and I can connect this end with this end. So these are 2 trapeziums. A window grill design drawn on a square rule paper is given below. Copy this design onto your exercise book. Identify each of the following rectilinear plane figures in the grill design. You copied and using different colors for the different shapes, color a figure of each type. Triangle, square, parallelogram, trapezium. So we'll identify triangles first. So we'll put colors, different colors. So this is one triangle. So I'll put so that's one triangle. Another one here. So you get a triangle. For you it's easy, but for me it's difficult to color here. So those are 2 triangles. Then square. Square, I'll use a different color. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 by 4 square. That's a square. And what about the big one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So when you take the big one also, a square, so you can color the whole thing in one. But I can't do that. I want to show you triangles, square, and parallelogram. Parallelogram I can use blue color here. This is a parallelogram. So this is a parallelogram. Another parallelogram here. These are two parallelograms. And trapezium. Two trapeziums. I can see this one and this one. Now you know how to identify rectilinear plane figures. Triangles, squares, trapeziums, parallelograms, rhombus, rectangle, so that's how can I color. It's difficult for me. So now you know how to identify all these rectilinear shapes. So we covered all theory related to rectilinear plane figures. A closed rectilinear plane figure drawn with 3 straight line segments is defined as a triangle. A closed rectilinear plane figure drawn with 4 straight line segments, it is called a quadrilateral. And trapezium means a quadrilateral with a constant gap between one pair of opposite sides. Parallelogram, a quadrilateral with a constant gap between each pair of opposite sides. And rhombus, a parallelogram with 4 equal sides. And a rectangle, a parallelogram whose angles are right angles. And square, a rectangle with 4 equal sides. So remember all these quadrilaterals and triangles because you need this in future lessons.